Well, John Hoyt Chance's opening kickoff will be a touchback, and we'll get a look at New Mexico State quarterback Logan Fife, transfer from Fresno State and Montana. Talking with the Aggies coaches earlier this week, they've been real pleased with Fife, Luke, and really his first opportunity to really be the QB1.
Yeah, and Coach Sanchez said this about him. The first thing that jumps out is his leadership. He received 103 out of 105 votes for captain. He's only been there a short time, and to have that type of impact on a team says a lot about who Logan Fife is.
So 1st and 10 just underway. That time Donovan Fopel slipped coming out of his break. Fopel, the #1 target for Fife this year. 13 catches for 177 yards.
And we'll talk a lot more about Fopel as this game goes on. He's a guy that, again, Coach Sanchez spoke very highly about, thinks he's a Sunday-type player, he said.
Handed off to Stanley. He finds a nice hole up the middle, and he'll pick up a 1st down. That's been an area that the Aggies have struggled with through 2 games, only averaging 2 yards per rushing attempt. So good sign early for New Mexico State.
Yeah, and they're going to look to get that going early and often. This 3-3-5 defense, you've got to be able to run the football against them. There's not a whole lot of room to pass.
That time, Stanley not quite as successful, picks up a yard to bring up a 2nd down and 9. Mexico State talking to their offensive coordinator. They want to run the football. They realize they cannot survive through the air alone. So they're going to try to establish the run against the Louisiana Tech defense that's been very good against it. Fife over the middle.
Yeah, his exact words were, we must and we will run the football better. So we're going to look for a very concerted effort to make that a point in this game early.
Pickup of 7 will bring up a 3rd down and 3. So the first 3rd down of this ball game. Aggies with their first possession. Louisiana Tech bringing the blitz. Fife over the middle, finds his receiver. Nice job by Logan Fife. Louisiana Tech bringing pressure that time.
It's a great job by Logan Fife. Quarterbacks are taught, throw into the blitz. Find the void that they just left, that they just created by blitzing, and throw into it. Great job by Logan Fife, finding the OTB that's over the ball, tight end for the completion on the first 3rd down of the game.
15 yards on the completion to Gavin Harris. Fife going to take a shot, and he finds his guy to the outside. Another nice pickup that time on 1st down. That'll be a gain of about 6 yards.
Again, offensive coordinator David Yost talked about the discipline that it takes to play against this 3-3-5 defense. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers in the game. With 5 guys in the secondary, there's not a lot of room to throw, so we must be able to take checkdowns, take what you get, they give you, and play disciplined football.
Hands it off to Ruston. He's going to make a couple of guys miss, but then he's corralled after getting back to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Ruston out of El Paso, Texas. Junior, 5'11", 220 pounds. Only his 3rd rush attempt of the season.
Yeah, it was a great job by Richard getting in the backfield, slowing him up. He's not going to be credited with a tackle, maybe a half tackle, but he's the one that caused this run to be stalled.
Third and 5. Mexico State inside Louisiana Tech's into the field on their first possession. The out pass is almost jumped that time. Nice job that time by the Louisiana Tech DB. That was Jamal Shelby Jr.
Really interesting that you didn't see a hard count right there. 3rd and 5, you're on the edge of field goal range. Use a hard count. Use a double cadence. Use that as a weapon in your offense. Try and draw them off sides. Get a free 1st down to keep it going.
Well, Ryan Hawk in to attempt a 53-yard field goal. It'll be on the near hash mark. His long this year, 46. against Tulsa. He's a perfect 4 on the season. The kick is away, and it comes up short. So the Louisiana Tech defense holds. New Mexico State unable to put points on the board, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10.
As advertised, this Bulldog defense, they're stingy. This is as good as a turnover. We get the ball with good field position here. Very interested to see how Coach Tony Franklin calls it from here with good field position with new quarterback Blake Baker in the game.
Baker came in the 4th quarter against LSU, threw a touchdown pass to Devin Gandy against the Tigers last week. He's going to drop back. He's looking over the middle, and he finds Gandy. So a chunk play over the middle on 1st down for Louisiana Tech. Gain of 25 yards.
There it is with a little tempo. They're going quick.
Baker keeps it this time after faking the handoff. He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards.
Obviously, in this Tony Franklin offense, quarterback has to be able to run the football. Something Blake Baker is not necessarily known for. He's more of a drop back passer, but Coach Franklin did say he's more than adequate at running it.
He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll near side. He's got a man, and a great grab by Gandy.
Excellent job by Blake Baker. Extending the play. We got a flag on the field. It's extending the play, keeping his eyes downfield, remaining a passer, and finding Gandy. I know this is a welcome sign for Louisiana Tech. They've been wanting Devin Gandy to get going here early in this season. I think the touchdown last week in the 4th quarter of the LSU game might have been just what he needed to kind of get off the schneid, so to speak, and get going.
Well, that play is going to be brought back. Illegal man downfield on Louisiana Tech. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 at the 39. Wiggins takes the handoff. Bounces off a couple of Aggies. He'll pick up about 3 yards. And he'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
So far, you're seeing exactly what Coach Joe Morris, the defensive coordinator, told us you would see from this Aggie defense. They're going to be conservative on the front end and build up as they get going, understanding what Blake Baker and what this offense wants to do.
Play action. Looking, he's going to go down the sideline and knocked away. Almost a great catch by Louisiana Tech.
Man, Latulis almost came down with that football. Man coverage, 3rd and 7. Man coverage, they run some type of little rub, some type of little pick, try and get Latulis up the sideline. Great job of this Aggie defense. We know how good they are. Very stingy defense. That there's a reason why they're ranked number 1 in Conference USA and number 13 in the nation.
Nick Sessions on the pass breakup that time, and that'll bring on John Hoyt Chance to attempt a 54-yard field goal for Louisiana Tech. The kick is away, plenty of leg, and he drills it.
What a kick.
So Louisiana Tech with the 54-yard field goal off the leg of the redshirt freshman from Shreveport, Louisiana. The Bulldogs take an early 3-0 lead here at Joe I.A. Stadium.
He took ownership for a bad call, and Colby Field said, no, coach, it's on us to make sure we execute. He said that he even joked with them after that they would have to overcome his coaching at times.
That coaching spotlight brought to you by Louisiana National Bank, the Uncommon Bank. So Logan Fife and the Aggies offense will come out trailing 3-0. That scoring drive for Louisiana Tech, 5 plays, covered 28 yards in a minute 41. The big play, the 25-yard pass play to Gandy. Hands it off, nothing doing on the near side. That was Kadarius Calloway.
Again, talking with Coach David Yost this week, talking about this Bulldog defense. He said there's only been 4 passes versus this defense over 20 or 25 yards all season long. So you have to be able to run the ball. You have to take what they give you. You have to be disciplined as a quarterback and not get bored taking completions, taking check downs, getting the ball out of your hand.
Five back, he's got time. Swings it out to the far side. That's P.J. Johnson who breaks a tackle down the sideline. And nice play there by the Lake Charles, Louisiana native. Jacob Fields knocks him out of bounds.
And what you'll really notice is Kadarius Callaway coming out of the backfield, sprinting down, trying to get a block for his teammate. Coach Sanchez pointed to how much this team cares about each other and plays for each other. You see it right there.
Callaway off the right side. No gain on that play. The Louisiana Tech defense getting the stop. 2nd down and 10. It was a 32-yard hookup from Fife to Johnson.
Changing strengths in the formation. Looks to be cover 1.
Going to go far sideline. Some miscommunication right there as the receiver was running down the sideline, and Fife, his pass looked like he expected him to stop. It'll bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think they were trying to take a shot there. It was all go on both sides with max protection, with the tight end staying in on protection. Jamal Shelby Jr. had great position in his coverage on that sideline.
Fife has time over the middle, and a nice job defensively as that was Jacob Fields. Broke up that pass intended for Sean Brown. It'll bring up a 4th down.
And so far this defense has been as advertised in these first 2 series in this game. Very stingy, can play you in man, can play you in zone, can drop 8, can pressure you. They give you multiple looks. This is a really, really good defense for this Bulldog team.
Max Dean into punt. It'll be Dedrick Latulis back for Louisiana Tech. Punt is away. And it'll be down to inside the 10-yard line. A good job there by Max Dean, the redshirt sophomore out of Australia. So Louisiana Tech will be backed up on its 9-yard line when we come back. Bulldogs lead 3-0. At Joe IA Stadium, there's a look at our impact players of the game. Makai Mason for Louisiana Tech, Donovan Faupel. Tech's going to take a shot down the field into coverage, and it's going to be intercepted, but a flag comes in. It was intended for Devin Gandy. Josiah Charles with the interception, but this may be defensive pass interference.
Yeah, it looks to be defensive pass interference. We're going to get the ball 15 yards from the line of scrimmage and a 1st down. Listen, when you're backed up, sometimes you just take a shot believing that it's the best opportunity you have to get the ball out of your own end zone quickly. Tony Franklin dialed it up right there. We get the penalty, it goes our way.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for Louisiana Tech after the defensive pass interference. Clay Tevenen off the left side. Mexico State making it difficult over there. Tevenen's going to pick up 3 yards. Back to our impact players. Makai Mason for Louisiana Tech, the redshirt junior, 20 tackles through 2 games, including 11 against LSU. And for New Mexico State, Donovan Faupel, the junior wide receiver. Baker over the middle, and that's complete. Into double coverage that time.
Yeah, Mason is everything that the coaches told us he was 2 weeks ago. The improvements that he made over the summer, the intensity with which he approached just meetings, and we're looking at Trey Kukoc entering the game right here. Coach Franklin told us we would see that. But going back to Donovan Faupel, excuse me, Faupel. You know, last year he only had a handful of receptions, and Coach Sanchez told us that they knew what type of player he was. Coach Sanchez recruited him when he was a wide receivers coach. and thought he was, like I said earlier, an NFL-type player.
Third and short here.
He apparently battled tonsillitis all season long, got very sick, had the surgery, got well, but was a shell of himself towards the end of the season. Now he's fully healthy and showing it in these first couple of weeks of the Aggie season.
Kukoc off the right side, and you see what that young man does best. He'll pick up the first down for Louisiana Tech. He'll stay in for the time being. Yeah, they raved about Donovan Foppel, and they're glad he's back and healthy this year.
Man, he looks the part, too. He really looks the part.
Tebbenin off that left side. Good pursuit over there by New Mexico State. Both these teams having difficulty running the football, which based off of what the two defenses have done through 2 games, no surprise.
No surprise at all. This Aggie defense is stout up front.
Tebbenin, nice cut out to the side. Now back up the middle, and then it's a foot race down the sideline, and he'll be tripped up about the 40-yard line. Good job of seeing the field, a couple of stutter steps in there, Luke, and he picks up a nice gain.
Yeah, Tebbenin's been the most consistent runner so far for this Bulldog offense. He seems to fill the hole. His timing, when he hits it, is just right.
Tebbenin again picks up a couple of yards that time.
Trey Kukoc still in the game. Coach Franklin told us it'll be a feel thing. It's not based on series or quarters. It's just how the flow of the game goes when he wants to insert a new quarterback. And as you saw in 3rd and 1, that makes sense. That's what Trey Kukoc does well, is run the football.
Well, Blake Baker back in at quarterback for Louisiana Tech on 2nd and 9. Takes the handoff over the middle, complete, down to the 10, the 5. He reaches for the goal line. Touchdown, Louisiana Tech, Jalen Mickens.
And this is what Blake Baker does very well, is throw the football. He's got a different feel for when the ball comes out on time, accurately. This is an RPO, so we're drawing up the linebackers with a play fake. And whatever their read is, when the linebackers step up, we're hitting a slant right behind them. Great job by Blake Baker. Accurate football, giving him the opportunity to catch and run, and a score for the Bulldogs.
Well, a flag was thrown after the play in the end zone. I think this is going to be for excessive celebration. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Devin Gandy. So that'll be assessed on the kickoff. Drew Henderson in to attempt the extra point for Louisiana Tech. That was a 40-yard touchdown.
And I talked a couple of weeks ago about hidden yardage. Coach Parcells has a system of calculating what hidden yardage accomplishes for you in the game points-wise. Right now, Louisiana Tech has 17 penalties for 180 yards on the year. That's 10 points that go unaccounted for through the season so far.
Extra point up and good. Louisiana Tech leads it 10-0. We'll be back to Joe Ice Stadium.
guys, quarterback to quarterback, that how he responded to this adversity would define him, that the team would be looking to him to see how he responded. And guys, he responded well.
Kickoff goes out of bounds, and it was already back from the 20, so New Mexico State will have outstanding field position. Thank you, Madison Kaufman. Yeah, you saw both quarterbacks, Luke. Excuse me. That time doing what they do best on that drive.
Yeah, it's a testament to the character of these young men, not letting the circumstances affect who they are as young men, who they are as players, understanding that it's about the team. It's about putting the best product on the field. It's about putting the team first. It's about being and doing what's best to get this offense rolling so that this Bulldog team can have as much success in this game as possible.
Well, due to the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on Louisiana Tech in the end zone after the touchdown, and now the kickoff out of bounds, New Mexico State will start this possession at midfield.
And there's nothing better feeling for a quarterback than starting at midfield, understanding you don't have very far to go to get points on the board.
Fife out into the flat. That's dropped by Stanley. That'll bring up a second down. That scoring drive for Louisiana Tech, 7 plays, covered 91 yards in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. A 40-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Mickens. Mickens had only caught 1 pass for 2 yards through the first 2 games.
And again, this Luke Olson defense has so many coverages, so many different lineups and disguises and alignments. That time they're in a 2-deep shell, make a cloud corner, and you have to throw the football to the flat quickly, ends up being dropped.
Fife back again. He's going to take a shot, and that'll be a pass interference, defensive pass interference against Louisiana Tech. Pretty easy call that time. That was Cameron Carter defending that, but he's going to be flagged.
Yeah, he held his hands up like the receiver was holding him. I'm not sure you're going to get that call right there.
So 2 penalties against Louisiana Tech on the play, including a roughing the passer call. That is our referee, Douglas Mercer. And so mark off 15 yards. Aggies will have it 1st and 10 at the 35. So penalties have been a problem here. Again, the 15-yard unsportsmanlike after the touchdown, the kickoff out of bounds, and now 15 more yards.
Yeah, there's 33 yards that this Bulldog team has given this Aggie offense just in this series alone.
Over the middle, and he throws it behind his intended receiver. That was Fapel, and he looked open.
Oh, man. He's going to look at the film tomorrow and go, we've missed a touchdown. There was nobody in the middle of the field. Cover 2, we call it middle field open. There's 2 safeties. They come off the hash. They get wide and far and deep. The weakness in the defense is down the middle of the field, and they had the perfect play call. They just missed it.
So 2nd and 10, Stanley in the backfield. And Stanley gets the call up the middle. That's a hard yard right there for Dijon Stanley, and it'll bring up 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, super important down right here for the Aggie offense. They've got a good kicker. Can't take a sack, can't have a penalty in this situation. I don't expect a hard count for the sake of not confusing your own guys and jumping off sides, and then you're moving back 5 yards.
Aggies 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. And there's a flag. That'll be a illegal motion against the wide receiver here down to the near side. That'll back up New Mexico State 5 yards.
Can't have it. Can't have penalties. Can't have sacks in this situation. You're on the edge of field goal range anyways. Conserve that yardage. Hold on to it tightly.
That was freshman Broderick Malone. So it'll bring up 3rd And a long 13. Football back at the 38-yard line.
If you're Logan Fife, you're expecting a full zone defense by the Bulldogs. You've got to be patient. Take what they give you. This is not time to force it in a drop 8 coverage.
Louisiana Tech only rushing 3. Fife has time. Now he's going to start to scramble. He's going to take off and run, and he'll get inside the 35. He'll come up short.
This is what
that was Amari Butler on the tackle for Louisiana Tech, and it'll bring up a long 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit on for the Aggies.
So it's actually a really good job by Logan Fife. There was nowhere to throw that football. You become the check down. They're rushing 3. Be patient. Take what they give you. 6 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, and now you give your kicker a chance at a field goal.
It'll be a 51-yard attempt by Hawk. He's 0 for 1. He came up short on a 52-yarder on the first drive, and now a timeout is called by the Aggies before the ball was snapped.
It's an interesting timeout. They're missing somebody.
Yeah, the New Mexico State sideline saw something they did not like, and so a timeout called here. 3:43 to play here, first quarter. Louisiana Tech leads 10-0.
And I would wonder right here if Louisiana Tech doesn't put someone back deep. In the first kick, fell short about 2 or 3 yards. There might be a return opportunity.
Now this Bulldog defense, again, in that drive, you take away the penalties, Louisiana Tech's defense basically gave up 2 yards on the drive. But New Mexico State started on midfield in a 15-yard late hit. So Hawk on to attempt a 51-yard field goal. The kick is away and no good. I was looking to see if there was a penalty, as it looked like the kicker Hawk was taken out, but no flag on the play, so Louisiana Tech will take over. The Bulldogs defense holds once again, and Tech will try to add to that 10-0 lead.
Man, if you're Blake Baker, you can't ask for better field position. 2 of his 3 drives have started outside your own 30-yard line. That's great field position. Should give you confidence, should give the play caller confidence. Let's see if they can get it rolling here.
Wiggins, the tailback for Louisiana Tech. He'll take the handoff off the left side, cuts it back up, puts his head down.
You know, Coach Franklin challenged these running backs this week. It was more geared towards pass protection, but he asked them to have a chip on their shoulder this week as football players, and you're seeing it with how they're running the football early.
Wiggins makes a man miss in the backfield. Picks up another couple of yards. That was all Amari Wiggins that time. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And the other thing that we've talked heavily about was the 3rd down conversion percentage. Louisiana Tech sitting at about 26%. Needs to be better on 1st and 2nd down, and they have been in this drive.
Baker keeps it, and he'll get the 1st down. Again, Trey Kukoc considered the running quarterback for Louisiana Tech, but Baker that time kept it himself, picks up the 1st down, and
right
here
on
comes
cue.
Kukoc back into the ball game.
Right on cue, Kukoc comes back in.
And you can appreciate that run, Luke. He did not slide. He knew he needed to get the 1st down, and that was a hard run there by Blake Baker.
No better way to endear yourself to your offensive line and your teammates than putting your shoulder down and getting a hard yard.
Kukoc over the middle. He finds his receiver. New Mexico State right there to drop Mickens.
I like that play call for Trey Kukoc a lot. He's entering the game, coming off the sideline, in and out. It's hard to feel the rhythm. Give him something that's easy, a quick completion. It also keeps the Aggie defense on their toes that he's not just a running quarterback.
Gets it out quickly to Mickens again, and the ball comes out. Nope, they're going to call him down. New Mexico State recovers it. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
3rd and a long 2. Expect man coverage from this Aggie defense. Maybe some pressure right here on the outskirts of the 50-yard line. Blake Baker back in the game. Kind of tells you that you expect a pass right here.
So 3rd and 3. Baker looking over to the Louisiana Tech sideline.
Using a double snap count, getting to peek at what the defense is showing you already. His first start.
So Trey Kukoc in at quarterback for Louisiana Tech on 3rd down. He's going to keep it himself, goes up the middle, dives forward, and he'll pick up the 1st down.
This is what Trey Kukoc does best. Little quarterback draw. Take your eyes to the outside. And then up the middle.
Monty Gibbons off the left side, fighting his way forward along that Aggie sideline. Nice gain on 1st down.
Right now, it just feels that there's a chip on everyone's shoulder in the offensive line and the running backs. They're all, you watch the line of scrimmage move on these run plays, and it's 2 and 3 yards down the field quickly.
Illegal motion that time, or false start by Kenneth Bannister, the right tackle for Louisiana Tech. So that'll negate most of that run by Gibbons.
Penalties, control what you can control, and that's one of them.
5 penalties now in this first quarter called against Louisiana Tech.
Unforced errors. If you're a coach, you want to see more discipline, more control, not giving up. Yards are so hard to come by. Don't do anything to give up a free 5.
2nd and 9, Blake Baker back into the ball game. Under pressure, he's going to throw it up. He's got his man, he underthrows it, and his receiver comes back and makes the catch. That is David Piero, junior out of Fresno, California.
Great job by Blake Baker, standing in the pocket, standing strong. He's 6'5". He's got a big arm. This is what they want to see from him. Push the ball down the field. He had a free runner. He stood in there, he didn't flinch. Ball was maybe a little underthrown, but you're getting hit in the face.
27-yard pickup. That's the final play of the first quarter. 15 minutes in the books. Bulldogs lead 10-0 in driving.
Don't slow it down.
Big Baker on 1st and 10 rolls to the right side. Nothing there. Smart play by the quarterback as he throws it away.
And it's a critical part of the game that you have to see a young quarterback make. When he's under duress, when he's in the red zone, will he make the smart play by throwing it away? And again, talked a little while ago, conserve the yardage that you have.
Hands it off Burnett. Burnett off this left side. He sees the pylon and he scores. Andrew Burnett from 11 yards away, the 5th-year senior out of Jensen Beach, Florida, and he scores his first touchdown as a Bulldog.
And he's a load, 6'2", 238. You don't normally see guys like that run and get the edge the way that he just did. Normally they're the Bulldog, the bulldozer, if you will, that goes up through the middle. But, man, he showed some speed right there, getting the edge. Good for the young man, 5th-year senior out of Jensen Beach.
Well, and give some credit to that Tech offensive line as they did their job, and he bounced it out to the left side. Extra point is up and good by Drew Henderson. We have a flag on the field. It'll be offsides against the Aggies, so the extra point should count, and they'll mark the penalty off, I believe. Nope, they can't take that one on the kickoff, so it'll be refused. But Louisiana Tech leads it now 17-0, 4:49 to play second. So it'll be another touchback as John Hoyt Chance with that strong leg. And so Logan Fife and this Aggies offense comes out. And Luke, still a lot of football left. We got 3 quarters to play. But if you're New Mexico State, you know how well this Tech defense has played. You're down 17-0. You're going to have to start to try to generate and find a way to score some points.
Yeah, again, Coach Yost talked about the discipline it takes to play against this defense, and only so many passes this season have been even attempted over 20 or 25 yards versus this defense, but you're going to have to start trying to generate some offense.
Nice play. He tries to hit a seam route right there, and that was Jacob Fields again.
And right on cue, trying to throw the ball down the field again, trying to generate some explosive plays, get the offense going a little bit. Run game hasn't quite been there. Having to take short throws, intermediate throws. They're going to have to take some chances here early in the second quarter.
Kadarius Callaway, the tailback, sets up behind Fife. Second down and 10. He takes the handoff, and Kobe Fields right there, and then a couple of Bulldog buddies jump in. It'll be a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for Callaway. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Logan Fife get on the edge yet. Rollouts, boots, play actions. Get him on the edge, allow him to see a little bit better. He's only 6 foot tall. He's not the biggest of guy, but he moves very well, throws on the run very well. Coach Yost talked about him getting on the edge a little bit in our production meetings.
New Mexico State 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. Fife had a man, and it's incomplete. That was P.J. Johnson, who had the big catch earlier in the first quarter. Couldn't hold on to that one, and so that'll bring up a 4th down.
It's exactly what you want. Man coverage, 5-man pressure, which just means there's 6 guys in the secondary. A single high safety. It's man across the board with no help. A great throw. P.J. Johnson's got to come up with that catch for his team in that situation.
Dedrick Latulis back for Louisiana Tech. Max Dean into punt. Gets it away. Good punt.
Beautiful.
And Latulis will call for a fair catch back at the Bulldog 25-yard line. And Blake Baker and the Tech offense trots back out onto the field. And we talked to Tony Franklin on Thursday, and I even made the comment that he didn't seem to be quite as bubbly as we saw him prior to the season opener 2 weeks ago. He felt a lot of pressure, right? Knew that this offense could be better. Tony Franklin's got to be awfully pleased with what he's seen through a quarter.
Very pleased, and he talked about 1st and 2nd down, and he said it wasn't about who they're playing. It wasn't about LSU. It wasn't about Southeastern. It was about us doing what we do for us, playing for each other.
Baker
and that's what you're seeing
scrambles
so far.
Chased out on that Aggie sideline. There is a penalty down around the 28-yard line. Good job by Blake Baker. He really stood in the pocket, kind of went through his progressions that time, Luke, as you would want to, and then he tucked it and ran.
Listen, he's a more than adequate runner of the football. It's going to back him up a little bit, but he's more than adequate at running the football. So go through your reads, stand tall in the pocket, and then become your own check down.
So it's a holding penalty against Louisiana Tech. It'll back it up to the 18-yard line, so it'll bring up a 1st down and 18. 6th penalty of the ball game called against Louisiana Tech. Hands it off to Wiggins off that right side. He finds a little hole, barrels through, and then is tripped up at about the 29-yard line. Talk about a hard piece of running there by Amiri Wiggins.
Again, Coach Franklin challenged these running backs in more ways than just running the football, but you're seeing it here.
Wiggins gets it again, and that time he is stopped cold in his tracks.
Yeah, a little edge pressure. Aggie defense said enough of that.
That was Jamal Thompson Jr., the graduate from Sarasota, Florida. So it'll be 3rd and 7. Bulldogs 3 of 4 on 3rd downs.
3rd and 7. Interesting right here. It looks that they're going to play man coverage. 3rd and 7. Backed up.
Baker drops back. He's under pressure. He's going to throw it to the near side, and there's a flag that is flown. He was trying to hit his tight end, Eli Finley, and it looked like Finley was held coming out of his break.
It's going to be defensive holding. Eli Finley, again, man coverage. He got a great release. He's going to win on the route. It's a high corner route. They brought 5, edge pressure, right in Blake Baker's face. That's going to be a big completion. Great release. He gets leverage on the safety here. It's a corner route. It's going to be holding on the Aggie defense, I believe.
I've talked about it an awful long time here. We'll see what they call or if they call. They do call the holding penalty against the Aggies. Sometimes when the striped shirts get huddled up for that long, you wonder if it may be waved off, but it'll be 5 yards and actually 10 yards and the first down for Louisiana Tech.
I think with Baker in the game as well, you're going to see an effort by Coach Franklin to get Eli Finley going as well.
Burnett takes the handoff, and his feet slide out from under him. No gain on the play.
This turf is still very new. A lot of the slipping you see is a product of just not having been played on much yet. They practice on it at least once a week to get a feel for the new turf, but still some slipping going on.
2nd and 10. Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to roll to the right side, and he'll run out of bounds. No gain on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd and long. Josiah Charles, sophomore out of Dallas, Texas, chased him out of bounds.
Blake Baker has a particular energy about him. You can see on the couple of plays that he's made in this game so far. He's very excitable, and I think the offense feeds off of that a little bit.
Here to the near side. Receiver gets away, and he's turning towards the outside, and he'll pick up the first down. That was Marquise Singleton. Nice play as he just used that speed, made a couple of Aggies miss, picked up 13 yards and a first down.
It's just a tunnel screen. Everybody runs it. Everybody from my 7th grade son to Blake Baker here tonight. Half sprint right, throw it back on the edge and get blockers out in front of you.
Run on first down off this left side. That's Amani Gibbons. Here comes Trey Kukuk back into the ball game. We've seen Tony Franklin use both Blake Baker and Kukuk quite a bit in this ball game, and both have been successful.
And you got to imagine that's a pretty frustrating thing for the defense, knowing these two quarterbacks are quite different. One's a pocket passer that moves a little bit, and one's a runner that throws a little bit.
Kukuk hangs on to it, makes a couple of men miss at the line of scrimmage, puts his head down, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
But man, it's such a good play call on 2nd and 8. Run your quarterback. It's the +1 in the offense. It makes the offense and defense now even. 11-on-11 football when you're able to run the quarterback. And now you're in a 3rd and short situation.
That was Okeke on the stop, former Louisiana Tech player. He's going to take a shot over the middle. He's got his man, and this will be a Bulldog touchdown. Trey Kukuk says, you know what, I can throw the football too. And Louisiana Tech on the touchdown pass to Marlon Jackson, covering 42 yards, and the Bulldogs lead 23-0.
Take that, Mr. McCown. I can throw it too. Great job by Trey Kukuk again, standing in there, making a throw. This is becoming a problem for the Aggie defense. This 2-quarterback system really makes it hard to play call, to game plan, to scheme against when you're not quite sure what Coach Franklin's going to dial up.
Drew Henderson in to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it's good. So 20 minutes into this ball game, it has been all Louisiana Tech in the Conference USA opener. Bulldogs on top, 24-0. We'll be back. Marlon Jackson with the touchdown reception, but give Trey Kukuk a lot of credit as Luke McCown is a former quarterback. I don't know if that's, I guess once a quarterback, always a quarterback.
Still a
but
quarterback.
You had to appreciate the touch that Kukuk put on that pass as well.
Absolutely. Cover 0, no safety in the middle of the field, which again is the problem that Trey Kukuk presents on a 3rd and 2 when he just ran up the middle for 8 yards on a 2nd and 8, or 5 yards anyways. So cover 0, there's nobody in the middle of the field. All you have to do is drift back, buy a little time from the rush, and gently put it down the middle of the field. Marlon Jackson hauls it in for a touchdown.
Fife drops back. He's under pressure. They've got this set up nicely out there. Blockers in front of him. It's a foot race down the sideline, and Jacob Fields will catch up to him inside the 45. Perfect play call that time.
Perfect play call. You know, you start smelling blood in the water as a defense a little bit. So it's a very good play call by the Aggie offense to get the ball out on the edge in a screen with lead blockers and get him down the sideline for a big gain.
That was Gavin Harris on the catch. New Mexico State inside Louisiana Tech's side of the field for the 3rd time tonight, although the Aggies have not been able to put points on the board. He's going to take a shot. He's got his man wide open down the middle. There's a touchdown for the Aggies.
Well, that was quick. Again, Logan Fife is a good player. He completed 28 of 45 passes last week against Tulsa. He's one of the leading passers in Conference USA. You can't sleep on him. He can score from anywhere on the field. This is a great job going through his read, going through his progression, finding his open receiver down the middle of the field for a big play and a touchdown.
Well, just what the doctor ordered for New Mexico State. That was Broderick Malone, 41 yards on the touchdown reception. So it took the Aggies only 2 plays that time to go the distance. Their first points of the ball game make it 24-6 pending the extra point. And it is up and good by Ryan Hawk. Well, we talked about the fact Louisiana Tech had not given up big pass plays. They gave up 2 of them on that drive. New Mexico State gets on the scoreboard. We'll be back 24-7. Bulldogs lead it here in the second. Logan Fife has had some time to throw tonight.
He has. He's been very patient in the pocket, taking things underneath so far. On that drive, he gets 2 big plays that propels him to their first touchdown of the game. And here they're going to have good field position. Louisiana Tech backed up in their own end zone on this return.
Fred Robertson on the return that time. Good job by the Aggies coverage team. And Louisiana Tech will be backed up inside its own 15-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see what this aggressive Aggie defense does. They've not been as aggressive here through the first quarter and a half of this game. I wonder if Coach Morris is going to start heating it up a little bit.
Jacob Fields out there as a receiver for Louisiana Tech, the Louisiana Tech safety. They're going to hand it off to Burnett off this left side, and he gets that momentum going forward. Picks up about 7, maybe 8 yards on first down.
Again, positive first down plays, second down plays. This is where offensive rhythm is built.
They hand it off to Burnett again. He'll come off that left side, tries to leap over a defender, picks up the first down.
You know how you get really good at converting 3rd downs? Convert 1st and 2nd downs.
Wigginsdale off the right side. He's got a nice gain on first down. Louisiana Tech finding something here in the run game.
Again, you really just feel like this Bulldog offensive line is owning the line of scrimmage. They're playing on the defensive side of the ball most of the night.
Wiggins bounces it outside this time. He'll go out of bounds right along the Aggie sideline. We'll see where they mark him. Looks like he will. Where are they going to mark him? Did he get the first down? Yep. Amari Wiggins picks up the first down out to the 41-yard line. So 4 straight run plays on this possession for Louisiana Tech.
And you're seeing a lot of rotation in and out of the Aggie defensive line. Coach Sanchez talked about their 2 deep. how proud he was of it. Felt like everybody on the two deep could play and play meaningful snaps.
Baker now scrambling. He's being chased near side. He tucks it, and he is going to dive forward up close to the 50-yard line.
Positive yards on first down, even in a quarterback run. Like to see him be a little more decisive, whether or not he's going to slide or dive. I'm good with either one, but be decisive. Don't put your body in harm's way.
Kukoc in at quarterback. He makes a man miss to the outside, and he'll run out along that Aggie sideline after picking up another first down for Louisiana Tech.
We talked a couple of weeks ago.
Gain of 10 on the play.
Coach Cumbie made a point to say, you know, when you watch Trey Kukoc run, you don't just think, wow, he's fast, but he doesn't often get caught. Sneaky speed for Trey Kukoc. Blitz off the edge.
I hand it off this time to Tevin, and he'll turn it up, and he gets a nice gain on first down. In fact, he'll pick up another first down. Louisiana Tech sticking to the ground game on this drive.
Man, their three running backs, Burnett, Tevin, and Wiggins, all getting their fill of carries tonight.
And this up-tempo is forced New Mexico State to call a timeout. Louisiana Tech, the ground game. They're kind of grounding up the Aggies right now as they've gone from inside their own 15-yard line all the way to the 30. We'll be back. We're going to take a commercial break. Tech up 24. Kukoc, the quarterback. Burnett, the tailback for Louisiana Tech.
Aggie defense showing single high. And it is.
Burnett was going to lose a couple of yards. That time the Aggies looked like they brought a run blitz that time.
Yeah, after getting gashed on this drive for 3 or 4 different big runs, they bring a safety down in the box, get an 8th man in the box, try and play a little more aggressive downhill defense. Worked out for him that time.
Blake Baker back in at quarterback for Louisiana Tech. That was Jamal Thompson Jr. on that tackle for a loss. Baker is going to hand it off to Tevin, and he's going to try to get to the outside, but nice pursuit there by the Aggies.
Again, single high defense. They've got one extra defender down near the line of scrimmage. Stretches out the run where Tevin can't turn up. Ends up being a positive play for them. Now 3rd and long. Not the down and distance that we've seen on this drive. But again, you've got a kicker with a big leg. No penalties, no sacks for this young quarterback. Get the ball out of your hand, conserve the yardage. Understand what the game situation calls from you as a quarterback.
Baker's going to have to scramble. He's got some room to the 25, down to the 20, inside the 15, and he'll pick up the first down. So we've seen Trey Kukoc with the passing touchdown. Now we see Blake Baker looking like a runner out there.
And he also is going, hey, Mr. McCown, I can run the ball as well. Great job. Again, 3rd and long is going to be a maximum zone defense. You become the check down. It's an empty formation. There is no running back. You don't really have a check down. You become the check down as a quarterback. Great job by Blake Baker getting the first down.
19 yards on the carry. Kukoc back in. He's going to keep it off the left side. And he'll be tackled at the 10-yard line, a gain of 5 yards on first down. So far, every play on this drive has been a running play. Now, there's been one they dropped back to pass and he scrambled, but everything's been on the ground. There's a pass play out to the far side. They're going to try to turn the corner, and they'll split the defenders, pick up about a yard, maybe 2.
Great job by the Aggie defense, stretching it out, playing sideline to sideline. Those little bubble screens, fast screens, now screens out on the edge are just an extension of the run game. You're getting the edge quickly, trying to stretch out the defense, but on a humid night like tonight, you're going to need that 2 deep that Coach Sanchez talked about, because lateral moving plays cause your big guys up front to have to run laterally, and that's a long ways to go.
So it'll be 3rd, and we'll call it 3. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's intercepted. Big turnover right there. The linebacker, Cucuck, making the mistake. Never saw the linebacker in New Mexico State. What a huge play by the Aggies defense. That's Tyler Martinez.
Yeah, and RPO again. The design is pulling the offensive line, trying to get a little movement from that backside linebacker. Great job. He doesn't move at all. Tyler Martinez, that's a team captain. Again, we talked earlier about Logan Fife. That's a team captain. Good for him, making a good read. Trey Cucuck's got to be able to see that. Throw the ball to the back of the end zone. Take the 3 points.
And if you looked at that play, even if Martinez is not there, the Tech receiver not open. Cucuck probably wishes he had that one back. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 2-yard line. So the Aggies with some momentum, trying to get back into this ball game. Hand it off up the middle. That's Callaway. He'll pick up a couple of yards.
Again, we've talked about this from the Louisiana Tech perspective, but 1st and 2nd down has to be better for this Aggie offense in order to set up manageable or favorable even 3rd downs.
That was Kobe Fields on the tackle for the Bulldogs on that last play. Pass out here near side. He's going to turn it up the field. And a big play by the Aggies to P.J. Johnson. Johnson, a senior out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, having a big first half. That's the 2nd chunk play. That one covering 40 yards.
Louisiana Tech brings Jacob Fields off the edge in a safety pressure. Excuse me, that was Michael Richard. Logan Fife gets the ball out quick. P.J. Johnson does the rest.
So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, and whistles blow.
They're going to ask if he caught the ball with his knee already on the ground.
So they're going to review this play, and so we'll see if we've got a replay here. I tell you what, I think he did. It looks like his knee was down on that turf that time, and if so, what a break for Louisiana Tech. We'll take a look one more time here.
Here comes Richard as a safety blitz off the edge. Great job by Logan Fife again, replacing the blitz with a throw. Just a little low on the location. I think that's going to come back.
So it'll still be a completion for New Mexico State if they overturn this, which I agree with Luke. I think his knee was down, but he'll take away the vast majority. We'll take one more look here. Yep, knee on the ground, so that'll come back to about the 11-yard line.
And what a killer, too. Huge play. It's going to turn into 3rd down and long, backed up in your own end zone. But after the 2-play drive you just had to score, you felt good about getting some things going. You have a big play there. It comes back because his knee was actually down. That can be deflating. We'll see how Logan Fife, team captain, bounces back from that one.
You got to look
at a long 3rd down.
Had a look at Tony Sanchez, the head coach for New Mexico State, right there. His 2nd year as the head coach, 4th year in Las Cruces. He's at his alma mater, played for the Aggies. Said he was extremely happy to be back. He said it's really cool. Not something you really think about until it happens. He was an analyst for Jerry Kill, who went to New Mexico State. But said it's nostalgic at times. Hears from some of his old teammates.
Tell you what, it was fun talking to him. What a great guy, a lot of energy, knows what he's talking about, a player's coach, and you can tell they play hard for him.
Looks like it would be about the 12-yard line, so I think it would be really close to being a 1st down, even when they bring this back. 2:45 to play here in this first half. 24-7, though. New Mexico State was down 24-0, and Aggies scored a long touchdown pass, and it looked like the Bulldogs were going to get it right back. Had it inside the 10-yard line before the interception by Martinez.
Looks like it stays. It stands.
Wow.
They're going to say his knee, either there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the spot, or that his knee was off the ground by the time he secured the catch.
So it'll go as a 40-yard pass play. Having 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Five's going to roll out here near side, throws underneath. And that's complete, and the receiver's still going. That is the tight end, Gavin Harris. Louisiana Tech, for the most part this year, has been a really good tackling team, but not that time.
Well, and that's something that we've not seen tonight. Logan Fife getting on the edge. Again, David Yost told us, the offensive coordinator told us, that's something they want to see him do more, is get on the edge, play calls that get him out of the pocket, allow him to see the field a little bit better. He's a very good passer of the football when he has time and when he can see.
Got it off right before the 2-minute timeout. Fife is going to take a shot. He's got a man inside the 5. He reaches. Touchdown, Aggies.
When he's got time and he can see, Logan Fife, I'm very impressed with how he can throw the football. The transfer from Montana comes in his first year, New Mexico State, becomes a team captain in his first year, and all he does is sling it down the field throwing touchdowns.
That was P.J. Johnson, I believe. Yep. P.J. Johnson on the touchdown reception. So a couple of big plays through the air to Johnson on that drive. 98 yards against this Louisiana Tech defense, and 38 yards on the completion for the touchdown. And that quickly, the Aggies right back in this ball game.
Well, there's a reason why they're one of the top teams in Conference USA. No lead is safe when you throw the football as well as they do.
They're going to review, I guess, to see if he actually got in the end zone. So we'll take another look at it. We know the pass was caught. And after the last one wasn't overturned, I'm not going to even try to
no more predictions.
Give my opinion on these calls, but we'll take a look at it. But again, Logan Fife all of a sudden, chunk play after chunk play against this really good Louisiana Tech defense. He may have stepped out at the 1 right before he reached over. It'll be close here. He definitely steps out. It's just a matter of where's the football.
Does he get it inside the pylon? Oh, it's going to be close.
The call on the field was touchdown.
My prediction is that it's going to be very close, Malcolm.
I'll agree with that one.
Yep.
Louisiana Tech will get the football to start the second half. So the Bulldogs, with 1:52 to play here in this second quarter, have an opportunity to double up. But I'll tell you what, if you're Tony Sanchez, you got to be awfully pleased with the fight your team has shown here late in this second quarter.
Well, and if you're Luke Olson on the other side, you're not very happy right now with the yardage you're giving up in just a couple of plays. The first quarter and a half was built on keeping it in front of them, rallying and tackling the football, and making them go the distance play after play. Here they've had two or three play drives to get down the field and score. That's not indicative of the type of defense that the Bulldogs have been playing through the first 2 games.
Hawks' extra point is up and good. So with 1:52 to play, we'll take the 2-minute timeout. Your score, Louisiana Tech 24, New Mexico State 14.
Coverage. Luke Olson's not going to be happy about that when they watch the film, giving up this yardage on chunk plays.
Robertson will have an opportunity to return it for Louisiana Tech. And he'll be up in it or close to the 25-yard line. And the Bulldogs will have 1:47 seconds, 2 timeouts. We mentioned an opportunity to double up. Now, the other side of that coin Luke. You want to make sure that you don't go 3 and out and give it right back to New Mexico State.
Absolutely. A fine line between being too aggressive, moving down the field, trying to move the ball down the field too quickly, and turning it over or going 3 and out, like you said, and giving an offense that seems to have found their rhythm the ball too early.
There's Baker. He finds Mickens for the first down. Out to the 40-yard line.
Excellent job. Little play action by Blake Baker. Able to seed down the middle of the field because of his height. That helps a lot. A good accurate throw.
Hands it off to Wiggins. He comes off this right side. He'll fall forward for a gain of 2 yards. And a player down for Louisiana Tech.
Humid night tonight. You hope it's just a cramp.
I believe it's Jonathan Dennis. He's up and kind of hobbling off. So a gain of 1 on first down. Minute 30 to play. The Aggies have 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. Louisiana Tech has 2.
Louisiana Tech's offense has done a fantastic job through these first 2 weeks taking care of the football. The number 1 metric in determination of wins and losses is turnovers. They have none through the first 2 games. They have 1 tonight on an interception in the previous series. Both of these quarterbacks have done a pretty good job not putting the ball at risk. They need to continue to do that in order to give themselves a chance to win.
Baker's going to keep it. He'll go straight forward. He bowls over an Aggies defender, puts his head down and picks up the first down.
Blake Baker is no small man. 6'5", 220 pounds. Puts his shoulder down and gets an extra couple of yards on that play.
He's going to run again this time, breaks another tackle, puts his head down again and dives forward to the 41-yard line, and a couple of players down, 1 for Louisiana Tech and 1 for New Mexico State. The Aggie player is their will linebacker. That's Alpiu.
There you go.
And for Louisiana Tech, another O lineman. We just had 1 Louisiana Tech offensive lineman limp off the field. That is Roy Brackens, sophomore out of Baton Rouge. So he's going to be helped off. Now the focus is on Alpiu. So far, Blake Baker, how about this, Luke McCown? He's Louisiana Tech's leading rusher with 47 yards on 7 carries.
He looks really comfortable. You know, every now and then, this type of quarterback shuffle that we've got going on really works to the advantage of the quarterback that wants it the most. And I know that's kind of coach speak, but what it does is it says, hey, I'm tired of coming out of the game. I want to play the whole thing. I'm going to show you I can run, I can pass, I can make good decisions with the football. And I think ultimately that's what Coach Franklin wants to see out of this. I don't think that he wants to hang his hat the rest of the season on shuffling quarterbacks. He wants somebody to step in, stand out, take the bull by the horns, as it would be, and become the guy for this offense going the rest of the way.
2nd down and 3. Baker fakes the handoff. Now he's going to scramble, gets a nice block on the outside, and he'll run out of bounds over that New Mexico State sideline.
Excellent job. 2nd and short.
It'll be 3rd and short.
3rd and short now. 2nd and short. The play before, they're going to take a shot. A little pump play, trying to get the defense to bite, trying to get it over the top, knowing that you got 2 more downs. Trying to take a shot down the field. Good job by Blake Baker not throwing it. The Aggie defense had it covered up well.
Bulldogs with a couple of tailbacks back there, Wiggins and Gibbons. 3rd and short. Louisiana Tech 6 of 8 on 3rd down. Play clock inside of 5 seconds, and I think the Bulldogs are going to have to burn a timeout right here. Probably not really what you wanted to have to do here with the clock stopped if you were Sonny Cumbie, but you also didn't want to pick up a 5-yard penalty on 3rd and short.
It appears to be a personnel issue. A certain 3rd and short play that you may have dialed up for this play requires a certain personnel grouping. I think they had the wrong guy in the game that maybe they wanted to have in this play.
Well, in the opening, Luke, we talked about these two defenses, right, and how well they have played this year. Well, we're at almost not even halftime yet. We've had 38 points and over 600 yards of total offense. So I would say the offensives have won this first half.
You know, it's the ebb and flow of football, of college football. But if you're Louisiana Tech's defense, you look at literally about 5 plays makes the entire difference for the game for you. So you've done, for the most part, a good job being who you are. You've just given them a couple of plays that you'd rather have back.
And we've got a flag. And it'll be a false start. So after Louisiana Tech had to use that timeout, then the Bulldogs come out of the timeout. That is 7 penalties now in this first half on Louisiana Tech. And that's not going to please Sonny Cumbie.
Coming out of a timeout, a formation penalty, an offsides penalty, where we're just not set before we snap the football is unacceptable.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
Quarters coverage. Full
Baker
zone.
Scrambles. He gets away, and he's going to go down the sideline, down inside the 20, still going, and he'll be tackled down at the 5-yard line. Blake Baker doing his best Johnny Manziel impression here tonight. That's 38 yards on the carry. He's got over 85 yards rushing in this first half.
Very impressed by Blake Baker in his first start in a big game. A big game for Louisiana Tech. They need this one to get off to a good start in conference play. Very impressed by his understanding of his ability. My good buddy Dan Orlovsky always says, never underestimate your ability not to throw the football. When it's covered, don't force it in there. Pull the ball down, get back to the line of scrimmage, or even better, get a big gain down the sideline and show your team you can run.
Here's a stat for you, Luke. Louisiana Tech's offense in the first 2 games this year, 416 total yards of offense. First half tonight, 409.
Wow. Wow.
Baker going to keep it himself, and was there a whistle that blew, an inadvertent whistle? So we're going to have a replay, so that's why the whistle blew.
Then they're going to have to put time back on the clock.
They're reviewing the spot, I believe, is what Douglas Mercer told us. So right now, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. And if you're Louisiana Tech, you felt like you had all the momentum in this first half. This is a really important drive before halftime.
Extremely important drive. Obviously, you want a touchdown. Points are great because you get the ball either way coming out of the second half. This is the twofer that we talked about that you try and set yourself up for when you defer at the beginning of the game. When you win the coin toss and you defer to the second half, you hope to get the ball at the end of the first half, score, and then get the ball right back at the beginning of the second half and score again. That's when momentum changes and shifts. That's when you really make statements about a game and who's in charge of it.
We'll have an opportunity to catch up with Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie. Madison Kaufman will catch him before he heads into the halftime locker room. But they're going to spot the ball at the 6. So 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Clay Tevin in the tailback for Louisiana Tech. They hand it to Tevin, and he'll go nowhere. Good job by the Aggies defense. Louisiana Tech's going to let the clock run, and now the Bulldogs will use that final timeout here. With 24 seconds to play in the half, which means if you're Louisiana Tech, you got to have your field goal unit ready on the sideline, because if you run a play and you get tackled inbounds, there's no way to stop the clock.
Absolutely. The other thing is, Coach Franklin's talking to him right now, telling them if this is a pass play, it's touchdown or out of bounds. That's it. There's no throwing it underneath. There's no check downs on this play. We're going to score in the end zone, or we're going to throw it out of bounds so that we can kick the field goal with plenty of time left. We don't have to use our Mayday or our fire alarm field goal team to rush on there for a rush field goal.
There's Tony Franklin right there. Comes back to Louisiana Tech. Spent 3 years in Ruston with Sonny Dykes.
Again, situational football for your young quarterback. He has to know we can't hold on to this football. You cannot take a sack here. The ball has to come out of your hand in the end zone.
Baker back looking. He's going to throw it over the middle. And it's through the hands of the receiver, I believe, or was it knocked away? It was intended for Dane Benedicts.
I believe Bernard Aya got his finger on that ball. Otherwise, a great throw. Oh,
He
maybe
sure
just
did.
a little bit.
Aya just got a finger on it that deflected it, or that would have been 6 points for Louisiana Tech. That was a great throw by Baker in traffic. So
we call those goalpost throws, any eye over throws. Just throw it any eye over the fingertips of the defense. It's a great play by Aya.
27-yard field goal attempt is up and good. And so Louisiana Tech gets 3 back. 27-14 the score, 17 seconds to play here before halftime. A really good drive by the Bulldogs that time, Luke answering, but you know, Sonny Cumbie and Tony Franklin would have preferred 6.
Yeah, you would have loved 6 in that situation. But 3 is good for your young quarterback. He didn't turn the ball over. These are situations that you don't always get to practice. Well, you can practice them, but the circumstances are different. It's not live. The game doesn't ride on it. You cannot replicate the pressure of the situation in practice for your young quarterback. So to have that situation, 2-minute drive to go down, have a third down in the end zone with 20 seconds left with no timeouts, where the ball has to be complete or incomplete in the end zone, touchdown or throwaway, is a great learning experience for Blake Baker in that moment.
Well, a bit of a win there for the Aggies defense, too, holding Louisiana Tech out of the end zone. So still only a 2-score game. John Hoyt chance to kick it off, and another touchback is only one timeout, 17 seconds to play. You got to think that New Mexico State would probably be conservative right here. We'll see, though, as, again, Logan Fife, 5 for his last 5 for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would think so, but with one timeout, you can take a shot, and if you hit it, you can call a timeout real quick. Looks like they're going to take a knee.
So Fife does kneel on it.
It's on the field, and they've got to clean that up.
With the return, tries to get to the outside and tripped up right before he gets to the 20-yard line, and that's where Louisiana Tech will start their first possession of this third quarter.
You got to be really happy with how your 2 quarterback shuffle has worked out so far. Save the 1 interception in the touchdown, both in the end zone, Both quarterbacks have fared very well, both running and passing the football. I don't think there will be a change regarding that system in the second half. This Aggie defense is going to have to get more aggressive. They're allowing too many yards on the ground. Let's see what they do.
Baker back over the middle, overthrows his receiver. That was Singleton, who had stopped his route.
That's exactly right. He stopped his route. It's a cardinal sin for a a wide receiver, once you, especially on an in break, a post or a slant, once you take your angle, the quarterback cannot change or adjust mid-throw. Once the ball's out of his hand, it's out of his hand. He's going to see you set an angle and release the ball with anticipation. You've got to cross that defender's face. You're lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
Handoff. Not a lot going on right there for Amiri Wiggins. Here's a nugget for you, Luke, and for our viewers out there. Going all the way back to 2012, no Conference USA team had ever gained 400 yards in a half, first half, or in a half, until the Bulldogs did it in the first half of this game.
406 yards in the first half, 436 total yards in the first two games.
And there's a sack. The Aggies defense stands tall here to start the third quarter. They get the stop they need. That was Tory Gethers.
First and second down has to be better. We come out, we take a shot to a post on first down, get snubbed on a second down run, puts you in a third and long situation. Those are the yardages you don't want to be in that we've talked about all night long.
John Hoyt chance into punt for Louisiana Tech. Aggies coming after it. And nice punt fielded inside the 40. Louisiana Tech right there. The Louisiana Tech sideline is asking why a penalty wasn't thrown on the punter who went down. But no call, and so the Aggies take over at the 35-yard line.
Good field position. You can't ask for a better start to the second half if you're New Mexico State. The first 3 minutes oftentimes tells the story about what's going to happen in the second half. Let's hope it's not indicative of what's happening so far.
50-yard punt by John Hoyt Chance. So New Mexico State with their first possession of this third quarter. They're going to take another shot down the field. There's separation, and it is almost intercepted, almost caught by P.J. Johnson, and it falls to the turf. That was Jamal Shelby Jr. that time.
Yep.
Well, New Mexico State has found something that they like down the field. These are chunk plays they're going after.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fingernails of Jamal Shelby Jr., that's a touchdown.
Bulldogs bringing pressure. He's going to take another shot down the sideline. Intercepted.
I'm not quite sure about these two play calls by Coach Yost. Man,
that's Jakari Foster on the interception. And tell you what, Luke, they came out slinging it down the field.
They did. They came out slinging it. Apparently they saw something at halftime or talked about something at halftime that they really wanted to take a shot, try and back this defense up a little bit. Great job by Louisiana Tech's defense taking the ball away. That gives you an opportunity to win the football game.
Baker hands it, fakes the handoff and throws it behind his receiver. A little timing off that time. That was Luke Watkins, 83. And it'll bring up a second down and 10.
I think both of these coordinators are trying to make statements early in this third quarter and just haven't connected on either one of them, obviously.
Baker keeps it and will pick up 5 yards on second down. And it'll bring up a third down and 5.
Excellent play call right there. Getting your quarterback to settle back down just a little bit. Send something straight up the middle. Get positive yards.
Bulldogs started 4 of 5 on third down, but have only converted 2 of their last 5. 6 for 10 in the ball game. This would be a big stop for the Aggies if they could get off the field here on third down. And that one's almost intercepted. There was nobody open over there, and Louisiana Tech will be forced to punt. That was Tyler Martinez.
Tyler Martinez, who came up with a big interception in the first half. Quarters defense, there's not going to be a lot of places to throw the football. Try to hit an outside slant. That's Tyler Martinez's job in quarters, is to play the flat, and he did so very well.
So John Hoy Chance, we saw him just moments ago. This is going to be a low line drive that's going to bounce and be fielded. That's TJ Pride, and he is swallowed up by the Louisiana Tech coverage unit inside the 30-yard line. So 43-yard punt. Neither offense has gotten much going here in the third quarter. 27-4 to his first interception of this ball game. On the Aggies' last possession, he's going to roll out. He's under pressure, and he's got a man, and he finds him around the 40-yard line. That was a really nice throw to P.J. Johnson.
That's only the second sprint out we've seen. Even movement, just sprint out or play action. That's only the second time we've seen Logan Fife break the pocket on a pass. Now, that one was designed, but you can see what it does to a defense in helping your receivers get open. Move the pocket a little bit. Woo!
Well, that time Stanley ran into a wall and fell backwards. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12.
And a wall it was. Christian Davis.
P.J. Johnson, 5 catches for 142 yards in this ball game. He came in with 6 catches for 54 on the year. And their leading receiver, who we've highlighted, Fapel, has not caught a pass. Tech bringing some pressure, and that one is going to be incomplete along the Louisiana Tech sideline.
Great job by Colby Fields, guarding their prolific pass-catching tight end in a man-to-man situation, and he did a great job keeping his leverage, staying in phase, in coverage, and making it a really difficult throw, forcing that ball to the sideline.
So third and long. Let's see if Louisiana Tech brings pressure. Bulldogs are going to blitz.
Screen.
Pass underneath, and a gain of about 5 yards. They'll come up about 6 yards short, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Real good job keeping the ball in front of you, rallying and tackling. Coach Olson talks about it all the time. Rally to the football, meet at the football with bad intentions. That was a great job by Louisiana Tech's defense.
That was P.J. Johnson again. So in comes the Aggies punting unit. Back for Louisiana Tech, Dedrick Latulis. Punt is away, and that one is shanked. And that will go out of bounds along the Tech sideline. And Louisiana Tech should have some pretty good field position here once they mark this thing off. The striped shirt still walking up the sideline, but we'll let you know where the Bulldogs will start. We'll be back 27-14 Tech. 1, Louisiana Tech 8.
That's the difference in the ball game so far. It's the ability to run the football down the field.
Pass complete to Singleton along the Louisiana Tech sideline. A nice gain on first down.
It's an RPO. It's actually a cross key RPO where Blake Baker is actually looking to his left even though the running back is on his right.
Clay Tebbenin gets the handoff, makes a man miss, and he'll be tackled, I think, just short of the first down.
Nathan Mitchell comes down and, like a missile, attacks the outside leg of Tevenen. Now, somebody's going to say, well, that was a missed tackle. Well, maybe so. But what he does is he turns the runner back inside to the pursuit where your teammates can make the tackle. It's a really good job by Mitchell.
Tech 6 of 11 on third down. It'll be third and about the length of the football.
Trick play.
Little trick play here, and Louisiana Tech's going to lose yardage on third and a foot. Bulldogs tried to get fancy that time.
Sometimes you can just overthink it, right, Malcolm? It's third and less than a foot to go. And the Bulldogs are going to snap the ball on a jet sweep and then try and throw it back to a quarterback. And I get it. In that situation, you're going to outsmart them, right? Certainly nobody's going to expect this throwback screen to the quarterback. And yet, you got a 13-point lead at the beginning of the third quarter. You've not gotten anything going as an offense yet in these first 5 minutes. Probably not the time to call that play, in my opinion.
So the third punt of this third quarter by John Hoyt Chance. It's fair caught by Pride. That, by the way, was Hobbs on the tackle on that nice play on the third down. And so New Mexico State will take over with 9:05 to play here in the third quarter. And after a lot of offense in the first 2 quarters, so far it's been all defense here in the third quarter.
Well, you kind of get a feel like one of these coordinators, offensive coordinators, is going to settle in and get back to the original game plan. Run the football on first and second down. Get yourself in manageable third downs. Then your playbook opens up. You can take shots. You can do what you want to do.
Callaway pulled down for a loss. That was Emmanuel Hogan's for Louisiana Tech.
Great pursuit by that Louisiana Tech defense. They are big and fast in their front seven. They have raved and raved and raved about the play of their linebacking group, but this front four for Louisiana Tech has done a fantastic job in the first part of this season.
Throw it out to the near side. Pick up of a couple yards, maybe 1 yard. He's forced out of bounds. That was Sean Brown on the catch. So New Mexico State on third down tonight, only 1 for 5. It'll be third and longs.
Goes without saying, but that's not the situation you want to be in, backed up in your own end zone. Corner blitz.
He's got time. He's going to roll out. Now he's got some room to run. And he's going to slide down short of the first down by a couple of yards, probably 3, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give Kobe Fields some credit there. He could have taken a shot there on the quarterback, and instead he pulled up and doesn't get the penalty, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, it's the experience of a fifth-year player understanding that it's 3rd and 15. Even though the quarterback is scrambling, as long as I tackle him prior to the first down, they're going to have to punt. They can't go for it in this situation. Some young players might have taken off and left their coverage responsibility and given up a big play. That's a great job by Kobe Fields.
Latulis has got some room, and he is finally corralled. Looked like he might have had an opening off that right side, but the Aggies coverage unit doing a nice job. We've got a penalty flag on the play. Back at the Louisiana Tech 36-yard line. So we'll see what this flag is. Both teams have had the football 3 times in this third quarter. Each team has gotten 1 first down, and that's been it. Here comes our call.
Both on Louisiana Tech.
So 2 penalties against the Bulldogs. They'll accept 1. Football be marched back to the 26-yard line. We're going to take a commercial break. 7:02 to play here in the third. Louisiana Tech 27, Aggies 14. Louisiana Tech picks up a first down on the first play of this possession. And that's complete to Devin Gandy.
Excellent first down play call. Get your quarterback out on the edge, get an easy completion, move the ball, get a little rhythm going for the offense.
Handed off this left side. That's Amiri Wiggins who will pick up 4 out to midfield.
Now this looks a little more like what the rest of the game looked like. The offensive line coming off the ball with a low pad level and a running back running angry up the middle.
Wiggins tries to bounce it outside, and he'll lose a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and long. That is a nice play by Torrey Geathers. So after picking up 4 yards on first down, the loss of 3 on second, and if you're Louisiana Tech, you're faced with another 3rd and long. Blake Baker looking over the Aggies defense.
Pressure coming. There it comes. He's missing one down the middle.
And throws it down the middle. He had a man wide open, but he couldn't get anything on it. It comes up about 10 yards short, and Louisiana Tech will be forced to punt.
Your young quarterback didn't look settled on this one. Marquise Singleton Jr. is running scot-free down the middle of the field. I'm sorry. That was Marlon Jackson down the middle of the field with nobody from here to Bossier near him.
So John Hoyt Chance back in. He's been really good at pinning opponents inside the 20-yard line this year. He'll have an opportunity right here. He might have gotten too much of this one as that one sails into the end zone. So that'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line, and that's where New Mexico State will start 1st and 10 with 5:40 to play here in this 3rd quarter.
Missed opportunities here in this first part of this 3rd quarter. A 3rd and a foot where we get stopped on a trick play. A big 3rd down right there where we had a man running. Now, I'm a quarterback. You don't always know where your eyes start, the concept of the play. That may not have had anything to do with what he's coached on the sideline to do within that play. But, man, you hate to miss opportunities like that.
There were only 2 punts in the first half. There have been 6 in this 3rd quarter. There's a pass, complete. That's Sean Brown.
And that should be a penalty. Surprised they're not calling that. You're not allowed to suplex players into the ground anymore. I'm really shocked that there's not a penalty on that play.
So 1st down. Yep, that's usually going to be flagged right there. That was Cam Franklin. Handed off. Kobe Fields on the tackle, but not until Stanley picks up 5 yards on the play.
Again, it feels like there's too much feeling out going on in this first part of this 3rd quarter by both coordinators. Just get back to what you were doing in the first half.
You feel like if Louisiana Tech could score a touchdown and go up 3 scores, it'd be really hard for New Mexico State. But on the other side, you feel like if New Mexico State scores the touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, completion almost 1st down.
It's a really good job by Logan Fife. Seeing the pressure coming off the edge here, audibling. You saw this hand signal. He taps his hip. He throws a quick screen out to his right. Almost gets a 1st down out of it.
And a late flag. Roderick Malone over by the Tech sideline. So we'll see. This happened after the play was over. Well, I thought we were about to get the call from Douglas Mercer. They're going to come measure for the 1st down. Did they motion who the penalty was against?
I have not seen that.
Looking at that replay, my guess would be it's going to be against Jamal Shelby, but the Aggies will come up about a foot short of the first down here. Got to keep your cool out there. They still have not signaled. The flag is still on the field at the 48-yard line of the Louisiana Tech sideline.
Looks like they're going to be about a foot and a half short either way. Okay.
Wow. So that's huge by the fact that they're a foot short. Instead of it being 3rd and a foot, it's now going to be 3rd and 15. The penalty called against Malone. So, again,
critical
the
call.
replay I saw, maybe they got the reaction, right? They don't always get the first guy, but the second guy. And so that's why they were measuring there. And so it'll be 3rd and 15. What a huge play right there. Here's
Huge
the play again. You can see down on the ground. Must have been something he said, or did he try to headbutt him? But regardless, the Aggies backed up 3rd and 15, 1 of 6 on 3rd downs.
Looks like they're going to review the spot now.
To me, is this third quarter just dragging?
It is. It is taking quite a long time to get through this third quarter.
4:15 to play in the third quarter. 27-14 our score. That's what the score was at halftime. And this was a shootout in the first half. That surprised us because these two defenses had played really well through the first 2 games. But you had to tip your cap to both offenses in that first half. Second half, let's tip our cap to the defenses. They played well, but
they played extremely well. Both sides, both defenses have come out, seem to have fixed some things at the half, and yet.
Yeah, this is a big review because if they decide that he gets the first down, that penalty will still be marked off, but it would be 1st and 10 instead of 3rd and 15.
Right. I was going to say, and yet you kind of feel like offenses have had opportunities that they've not capitalized on. They're certainly not playing with the fireworks that we ended the first half with.
This third quarter, the Aggies have run 12 plays for 47 yards. Louisiana Tech 13 plays for 25 yards. That was after the Bulldogs became the first Conference USA team. Here comes the call. Yep, so it's a big play right there. It'll be a first down, then they will mark the penalty. And so instead of it being 3rd and 15 for New Mexico State, it'll be 1st and 10. So now the 15-yard penalty does not hurt as much. So the Aggies will have it on their 26-yard line, trailing 27-14 here in the third quarter. Pipe's going to want to take a shot. Now he's under pressure. He's going to scramble out of there, and he'll put his head down. Flag down back at the 19-yard line as the tackle is made right past the 30.
It's going to be holding on New Mexico State. Anytime you sprint out or a half roll play action the way that New Mexico State just did.
Hands to the face, 15-yard penalty.
That creates different angles for the rush. And a lot of times you get the edge of an offensive lineman and he's got his hand placement different from a normal drop back, becomes different. And in that moment, hands to the face.
So that's the
Looks like by their right guard.
5th penalty against the Aggies. Yeah, they didn't spot the ball correctly when they marked it off. It should be a half the distance, so it'll bring up a 1st and 22. So an opportunity for Louisiana Tech defense. They're going to run the football, and a nice
Great
open
tackle.
field tackle by Louisiana Tech.
Richard.
You know, Mike Richard out there.
Great job coming up, squaring up your target, breaking down and making a tremendous open field tackle on a pretty elusive runner.
So 2nd down and 22. He's going to roll out. He's going to look back this direction. He's got his receiver, and the tackle is made at the 24-yard line. That was P.J. Johnson, tackled by Jamal Shelby Jr., and with that catch, Johnson becomes the first Aggie since 2017 with over 150 yards receiving in a football game.
He's having himself a night, that's for sure.
So 3rd and 12. And the
Batted ball.
pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage, so I believe that was
Chief Leota.
Chief Leota right there. They were trying to hit the quick slant.
Chief Leota coming off the edge, 6'3", 6'4", long arms. He's got great range as a pass rusher. Anytime the quarterback takes a quick drop, they're told to read his drop, and if it's a quick drop, that usually means the ball's coming out quick to a shorter pass. Get your hands up, you got a great chance of knocking the ball down, and that's a great job by Chief, seeing the drop and getting his hands up in the way of the pass.
Punt. Latulis may have an opportunity here, and he is going to try to get outside and goes nowhere. He's tackled at the 30-yard line. Great job by the special teams unit.
You know, one of the things that you can kind of take from this as an offense is there's not really anything going on. It's kind of been a pretty boring 3rd quarter, right, Malcolm? And so as an offense, you kind of go, just manage the downs. Manage 1st down. Don't put the ball in harm's way. Manage 2nd down. Get yourself in a reasonable position to convert on 3rd down.
It was Charles on the tackle on the coverage unit. There's Burnett, and he'll pick up maybe a yard. And it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Not a lot of good yardages gained on 1st down here in this 3rd quarter. Both teams have kind of been behind the chains. Clay Tevenen comes in at tailback for Louisiana Tech. Again, you feel like if Louisiana Tech could put a touchdown on the board, it would sure make things a lot more difficult. There's Tevenen. He's going to break a couple of tackles at the line, and he'll get out to the 39-40. They'll mark it at the 40 on this near side. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. That was Nathan Mitchell on the tackle.
Going to be really, really good run straight up the middle. Tevenen obviously is the guy that we've talked about earlier in this game. He's more of your home run hitter. He can really split the middle with his speed and shiftiness.
New Mexico State's going to call a timeout here on 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Our score still remains 27-14. Conference USA opener for both Louisiana Tech and New Mexico State. We had an opportunity to talk to Tony Sanchez and his 2 coordinators on Thursday. And this is a team that, or a program that only won 3 games last year, Luke. They went 3-9, but they've started 2-0, and a lot of excitement out in Las Cruces.
Yeah, and Coach Sanchez talked about it. He feels they have a really good football team, a really competitive team from 1 to whatever the last number of guys you have on your team, 105, whatever the number is on these college teams. But he really, really likes the depth of his roster. He talked about going out and recruiting, being active in the portal, and turning a team around. He feels like he's done that with this New Mexico team.
Tevenen's going to pick up the 1st down. He's still going. past the 50-yard line. Clay Tevenin with a hard run right there. That was the first time this third quarter that you felt like the Louisiana Tech running back had some room to run, and he picked up 14 when he should have probably picked up about 6 or 7. They're going to hand it off to him again off this left side. Some good blocking out there by number 72, Hayden Chrisman.
You feel like the timeout by New Mexico State just then was an opportunity for Louisiana Tech to look each other in the eye on a critical 3rd and 2 and go, hey, let's put our nose down, let's put our head down and go get this first down. It really worked to the advantage of the Bulldogs.
That'll be the last play of the third quarter. No points on the board for either team. We'll head to the final 15 minutes here in Ruston. Louisiana Tech leads at 27-14.
Them a little extra to get through the fourth.
Tevenin takes the handoff off the left side. He'll pick up the first down. Still going. A flag down behind the play. I would guess most likely a hold. Thank you, Madison Kaufman. Great job down there. That was Louisiana Tech President Dr. Jim Henderson behind Madison, giving the Go Bulldogs sign.
Great to see the energy from the president.
Yeah. There's not too many, if any, university presidents that love athletics as much as Jim Henderson does. But a nice run by Tevenin. It'll be wiped off. Now it'll be a 2nd and 12.
Probably unironically that Madison brings up Coach Cumbie's history lesson to the team. Back in 23, they were up by 13 and lost that game within the last 2 minutes. We're up by 13 now. We need to get some consistent things going offensively and move the ball down the field, get points on the board.
So 2nd and 12, Baker back, looking. Now he's going to scramble. He's going to take off down the field, use those legs. He gets inside the 40, and that's what we saw from Blake Baker in that first half when he ran for almost 90 yards.
Excellent job by Blake Baker again. You really feel like he lays his body on the line when he's running the football. He's trying to make a statement. He wants to be the quarterback from here on out going forward.
This is probably 4-down territory right here as long as you don't lose yardage on 3rd down. They're going to hand it off the right side, and that's going to be Imari Wiggins, and he's going to spin his way for a first down.
Great job hitting the edge. Imari Wiggins, a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a load than Tevenin, getting on the edge, putting his shoulder down, getting a couple.
Wiggins again, forced out of bounds. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Nice job by the striped shirts, breaking up Eli Findley and New Mexico State defender back behind the play. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
2nd and 8. This is where the Aggie defense has to start being aggressive. You're going to see them dial up some pressures here, I do believe. A little more man coverage probably. Single high safety right now.
Takes the handoff, and Baker is going to try to run it off the right side. He doesn't go very far. Picks up a yard. He'll bring up 3rd and long.
3rd and 8. You've got a strong-legged kicker in Drew Henderson. Feel like he hit one from 54 earlier, right? So we can't take negative yards on this play. Find a check down, throw it away if you have to, but don't give up the yardage.
So 3rd and 7. Pressure coming. He's got time. Nice job. He's going to throw it up the field, and he throws it wide and out of bounds. It'll bring up a 4th down, and a good job by the Aggie secondary as Baker had time originally. And here comes Drew Henderson onto the field, and he's going to attempt a field goal.
Excellent job by Baker right there, understanding the situation. Don't put the ball in harm's way. You've got a good kicker. He can make this.
It'll be a 49-yard field goal attempt. The kick is away, and it's no good.
Pushed it right.
So Louisiana Tech offense stalls. Henderson unable to connect, and the Aggies only trail by 13 They'll get the football back, 12:32 to play. That was after Louisiana Tech won 14-7 to wrap up the regular season WAC title. And the ball stripped away. Louisiana Tech picks it up, and it's going to be a big boy touchdown. And that's the play Louisiana Tech needed. Jacob Bradford, ball was stripped from behind.
And I'm not so sure it was stripped. It may have just slipped.
It did just slip.
And it
Jacob Bradford in the right place at the right time. You see his 40 time right there, but he only had to go 20.
Big man touchdowns. It doesn't get any better than that. He'll remember that for the rest of his life.
Well, the Louisiana Tech offense has been struggling. The Bulldogs defense has been playing well here in the second half, and that's the play the Bulldogs needed as the extra point is up and good. So in the first half, the Tech offense was firing on all cylinders. Here in the second half, it's been the Bulldog D, and Louisiana Tech with a huge defensive touchdown leads it now 34-14. That play interrupted our memory, but just to finish that story, that was at Skelly Stadium, 2001. Luke McCown was a sophomore for Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs, if I'm not mistaken, were picked to finish 8th that year.
That's right.
Went on to win the WAC regular season title and played in the Humanitarian Bowl up in Boise on a very snowy.
Against Clemson. Woody Dantzler.
Woody Dantzler and the Clemson Tigers. Well, it's a team football game, and you need to win in all three phases of the game, Luke McCown. And again, in the first half, it was kind of the Tech offense that had the really good half. The Bulldog defense played well early, but then gave up some chunk plays and a couple of touchdowns. In the second half, it's been all Bulldog defense, and they score right there to give Tech a 3-score lead with 12:24 to play.
And in the first half, there's only going to be 5 or 6 plays that Luke Olson looks at and goes, hey guys, what happened here? Why did we give up this yardage on this play? 5 or 6 plays can sometimes make the entire difference of the game. Just like a ball slipping out of your hand can make the entire difference of a game. That's a big moment for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs.
John Hoyt Chance with another touchback. New Mexico State will take over at his own 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
And I need to give John Hoyt Chance his credit. I credited Drew Henderson with a 55-yard field goal earlier. And it was actually John Hoyt Chance who's their long field goal kicker.
So 1st and 10. Underneath to Callaway. That was a heck of a throw. Nice tackle out there on the perimeter. He kind of almost went sidearm with that one, Luke.
He did. In today's quarterback, you've got to have multiple arm angles, be able to throw from multiple positions. And this one, he very Patrick Mahomes-like, just dropped it down by his hip and flicked it like a shortstop.
Out to Callaway again. This time it's dropped, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We mentioned the big game by P.J. Johnson, 7 catches, 157 yards. And tell you what, Donovan Faupel came in with 13 catches for 177 yards. And Faupel has not caught a pass in this ball game.
I don't know how many times he's been targeted in this ball game.
Timeout called by Sonny Cumbie. He came running down the sideline.
I think it's a good timeout.
Over the middle here, and it's knocked away, and it'll be 4th down. So 4th down, and here comes the punting unit for New Mexico State as the Louisiana Tech defense digs in once again. If you're Tech, you want to watch for a fake punt here, you got to think, just to make sure.
Yeah, it's a little shocking that I guess it's still early enough in the 4th quarter that you're not going to go for it yet.
Singleton back. He's going to field this, and he's going to try to get to the outside, and he does. He's got a wall out here. 30, to the 40, cuts back inside, gets past midfield. A nice return there for Louisiana Tech by Marquise Singleton Jr.
Great return. Special teams plays aren't just out there running around playing playground football. They have designed plays, designed returns. Singleton knows it. He catches his punt return and makes it down the sideline for a big gain.
We'll be back into Kukuk in the game for the quarterback. His first snap of the second half, and he breaks it down the right sideline. Shoestring tackle, but he gets inside the 30-yard line, does Kukuk. That was Nathan Mitchell on the tackle.
Flag comes down on the sideline as well. Might be a frustration foul. We were just talking, we hadn't seen Kukuk in this half yet.
Yeah, the flag came in after the play. That's a gain of 24 on the run. And
Zedekiah Rodriguez Brown.
So the flag goes against New Mexico State. Add on some more yardage after that 24-yard run.
Like I said, that's just a frustration foul. It's not been going your way in this second half. Excuse me. A big gain, big run by Kukuk.
So Kukuk in at quarterback, and that was
got movement by the left guard.
Interesting. That was Austin Ellis. He just kind of stood up in his stance, so illegal motion. That's the 10th penalty of this ball game on Louisiana Tech for 95 yards. Now Blake Baker comes trotting back in at quarterback for Louisiana Tech. And again, if you're the Bulldogs, you're up 20. You want to protect the football here. Worst case, kick a field goal. Now, you don't want to necessarily take your foot off the accelerator, but you don't want to put the ball at risk either. Baker's going to keep it. He'll dive forward. And with that run, Luke McCown, Blake Baker just went over 100 yards rushing on the night. That's not impressive enough. He's only the second Louisiana Tech quarterback to ever rush for 100 yards, joining Ryan Higgins, who did it in 2016. Now, I'll be honest, a little surprised Luke McCown didn't ever do it. But Blake Baker now with 102 yards rushing on 14 carries.
That would not have been on your bingo card coming into this game, that Blake Baker is going to rush for over 100 yards.
Second down and 7. They're going to hand it off to Givens off this right side. It's a foot race. He dives forward, and I think they're going to mark him out at the 1-yard line, but a nice job by Amani Givens that time.
It's enough for a first down. It's going to be first and goal from the 1.5 yard line. Sonny's going to run down there and ask for a review.
We're going to look at it again. Yeah, I think it's the right call, looking at that replay. Yeah, if you'd have told me that a Louisiana Tech quarterback was going to run for 100 yards tonight, I said, okay. You know, Trey Kukuk maybe can do it. He gets enough snaps. But kudos to Blake Baker. And he's going to keep it himself, does Blake Baker. He puts an exclamation mark on his night with the rushing touchdown. And Louisiana Tech now leads it 40-14.
He's had a heck of a night. He really has. I've been impressed with in his first start in a conference game, how he's managed it. He's not put the ball in harm's way. He's run very physical. He's been active in the run game. And for the most part, accurate in the pass game.
Louisiana Tech's going to go for 2 here, leading 40-14 with 9:34 to play. Baker's going to roll this way. Now he throws back the other way. He's got a man. Did he catch it?
Yes.
What a great catch. Sliding catch.
Tevenen.
By Clay Tevenen. So a nice play. He rolls to the right, throws back to the left. There's Blake Baker with a touchdown run. He's got over 100 yards on the ground. Louisiana Tech in complete control here in the 4th. There, Luke McCown. There's Some of your dance moves right
That's
there
it.
on display.
That's it. One of my trainees right there.
There you go. Tony Franklin's going to be awfully pleased with the play of both his quarterbacks tonight, right? Especially Blake Baker. But Trey Kukuk has come in and done a nice job when given the opportunity, and I think Louisiana Tech might have found something here.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Another kickoff that will be a touchback, and New Mexico State will have it 1st and 10. Tech leading 42-14. There's the Band of Pride doing what they do best, entertaining the folks here at Joe I.A. Stadium. Bulldogs leading 42-14, 9:34 to play. Tech looking to try to go 1-0 in conference play.
If you're the Bulldog defense, this is where it gets fun for you. As a pass rusher, you get to pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. As a secondary player, defensive back or safety, you know that the ball is going to be put in the air. It has to be put in the air. There's going to be opportunities for you to make plays on the ball. And if you're the Aggie offense, it's time to open it up.
2nd down and 10. Fife now 16 of 31 for 278 yards.
Pressure.
Quick throw.
Place.
And incomplete. Good job. And here comes a flag in after the play was over. Joshua Cobbs there for the PBU, but maybe he got there early. That's what I think they're going to call right here. So it'll be 11th penalty of the night. That'll be something Sonny Cumbie's not very happy about. 11 penalties for over 100 yards.
You have to. You have to. Penalties at some point will get you beat. Aside from all the other things that you have to be conscious of as a team, run fits, coverages, pass protection, all the other things that go with winning a game, the things you can control usually are penalties. So that's going to be an area of the game that Sonny highlights.
Football on the 31-yard line after the penalty is marked off 1st and 10 for New Mexico State. Fife's going to look down the field. He's got time and intercepted.
What a play.
Louisiana Tech on the return. Cam Franklin for the Bulldogs. And another turnover, the 3rd in this second half, forced by the Louisiana Tech defense.
Like I said, as a defender, you're going to love this moment of the game because they have to throw it. You know they have to throw it. They know they have to throw it. You get to rush the passer. You get to play coverage and know that the ball has a chance to come your way. And Cam Franklin with a one-handed stab in the air for the interception.
Yeah, that was a great interception by Cam Franklin.
Evan Bullock's in the game.
So Evan Bullock will get his opportunity. Redshirt sophomore out of Anna, Texas, 6'5", 220. Started the majority of games last year for Louisiana Tech. Amari Wiggins off the left side. He's still going forward.
What a run.
Touchdown Bulldogs. Amari Wiggins, what a play.
What a run, Amari Wiggins. 5'10", 206-pound junior out of Lafayette. He could smell the end zone. He wanted every bit of it. That's a great hard-nosed run. That's a game-finishing run. That helps set a tone for the rest of your offense. Hey, let's close this thing out. Let's finish it the right way. What a great run by
Amari Wiggins broke 5 tackles to cross the goal line. Drew Henderson in to attempt the extra point. And after a difficult third quarter, Louisiana Tech has now put up 22 points here in the fourth quarter. A lot of it because of the play of the defense, who's got a fumble return for a touchdown, and the offense will get credited with this touchdown, but it was the interception by Cam Franklin and the return that set up the field position for Louisiana Tech.
Well, we were critical of the offense coming out of half. Some play calling issues, just not getting positive yards on first and second down, forcing themselves into some really tough third down situations. And yet we can say just the opposite for the defense. Coming out in this half, they've really stepped up to the plate and delivered, and in timely fashion here in the end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter.
Louisiana Tech now has rushed for 316 yards tonight. First time the Bulldogs have rushed for over 300 since back on September 9th of 23. That came against Northwestern State. What a luxury it is to have a kickoff where you don't have to worry about the other team returning it. Louisiana Tech had that last year with Buck Buchanan, and obviously John Hoyt Chance is picking up right where Buchanan left off.
It really is, and the cumulative hits that it puts on your special teams, on the bodies, when the ball is not kicked out of the end zone, when there is a return, adds up over the year, over the course of the season. So to be able to do that and know that about 11 guys aren't going to get hit on for a play is a big deal.
First down, a handoff. That is to Isaiah Ruston. He'll pick up about a yard. Just to put a bow on what we mentioned, 22 points for Louisiana Tech here in the fourth quarter. And to tell you how much the defense has played in that, Tech only has 75 total yards of offense in this quarter. So
406 in the first half, 75 in the second half so far. Great job by the Tech defense.
Fife rolls out, finds his man underneath. And I'll bring up a third down. Pass complete to Gavin Harris, the big tight end.
Colby Fields getting in on the action here in the fourth quarter.
Now Luke Olson and this Tech defensive coaching staff preaches takeaways, and Tech didn't have any in the first half, but 3 of them here in the second half. And now we've got a flag and an illegal motion called against the Aggies. New Mexico State tonight, Luke, only 1 of 8 on third down conversions. It's going to be hard to win ball games when you can't stay on the field.
Hard to win ball games. But that goes back to what Coach Franklin talked about during the week. First and second down matter. It's not just about third downs. That's simply indicative of what happens usually on first and second down.
Fife's going to roll out. He's under pressure. He dodges the defender, and he'll head upfield. He's tackled well short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th and 8. And here comes the Aggies punting unit.
And they're going to go ahead and punt this. Somebody may say, well, why not go for it? Well, it's 49-14. You're most likely only going to get one more possession in this football game. Go ahead and punt it. You don't want to put any of your offensive players at risk for injury, for unnecessary injury, because you go for it on a 4th down in a game that's, here in the last minute and a half, gotten out of hand.
Punt is away. Singleton back. He's already got one good return, but he's going to fair catch this one and falls to the ground at the 38-yard line doing that. New Mexico State in this second half, only 58 yards of total offense against this Tech defense. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. We'll get that momentarily. Evan Bullock back in the ball game for Louisiana Tech. Started to talk about Bullock, but we only had one play in the touchdown for Louisiana Tech the last possession. But he got the vast majority of starts last year after Jack Turner and Blake Baker both went out with injuries. And Bullock did a really nice job last year for the Bulldogs. 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and that's a great ratio. There's the schedule for Louisiana Tech coming up. Bulldogs will actually be at home next week against Southern Miss, and then they'll head out to El Paso on September the 27th. You see they get into Conference USA action after they step out next week as they host Southern Miss, which is a non-conference foe this year. But moving forward, the Bulldogs and the Golden Eagles will be in the Sun Belt together. Handoff off this right side, hard running there by Andrew Burnett. Bring up a third at about 3.
Yeah, and they're telling Evan Bullock right now this ball is not snapped outside of 3 seconds. We're going to milk this clock all the way down. Even in third downs, if it happened to get to a fourth down, you'll probably see them take a delay of game even. This ball should not go back in the air for the rest of this game. The next 5 minutes and 52 seconds, it will be on the ground, and Andrew Burnett, you'll get all you want.
Louisiana Tech is 8 of 16 on third downs. Burnett's going to take the handoff, and he will pick up the first down out at midfield. Tech now 9 of 17 on third down conversions. But when you were playing quarterback in a situation, did you want to still put the ball in the air? Did you look over to the sideline and say, come on, Conroy, come on, Jack, let me throw it a little bit more?
It was all about the win. It was all about the win. If we were going to get the win, I didn't care. It was about how quick can we get that clock to count down.
Well, when you throw the ball 72 times in a ball game, which you still own the NCAA record for most pass attempts by a freshman, that came against Miami, and 47 completions against Auburn, which is still an NCAA freshman single-game record, as Burnett takes the handoff, stops and cuts forward, picks up about 4 yards. You threw plenty.
We threw it a lot. That was fun. A lot of good players have come through this area of the country, through this university. A lot of good quarterbacks. I was blessed to be surrounded by a lot of really, really good players that helped me become who I was. But I got to look up to people like Tim Rattay, Terry Bradshaw, and a host of other guys that paved the way for me.
2nd down and 6. Burnett takes the handoff and just dives forward. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One more first down is what is being told right now. One more first down, and that all but ends the ball game.
Well, and if you're Tony Sanchez and the Aggies, you know, this is one loss, right? Sure, you look at the scoreboard. It's gotten out of hand here in the 4th quarter. But it's only one loss. You got to get back to the drawing board. You feel good about the group you have. Been very impressed with Logan Fife. And, again, I think this is an Aggies team that will win plenty of ball games in Conference USA. Hands it off this right side, and that'll be another first down conversion for Louisiana Tech. As that's a Givens that time for the Bulldogs.
And that should just about do it.
Now, New Mexico State doesn't look like they're interested in stopping the clock. Down 35 points. You understand why. They want to get in the locker room, get some showers, get on the bus, head to the plane, and get back to Las Cruces. So
another quarterback in the game. Quarterback number 4 for Louisiana Tech.
Handoff.
Mason Welch.
Yep, Mason Welch, the new quarterback. Redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 227 pounds. He's getting a little PT out there here late in this 4th quarter.
I haven't went and stood beside Evan Bullock or Mason Welch or Blake Baker, but 3 6'5" quarterbacks. We've got to have a pretty decent basketball team in our intramural squad there.
Yeah, I'm not sure Sonny Cumbie wants him playing intramurals, but Welch out of Shreveport, Louisiana, Played at Kilgore Community College. We're down to the 2-minute timeout. We're going to take our last commercial break of the night. Bulldogs on top, 49-14.
Three-time intramural champion right here, Malcolm Butler.
There's the Louisiana Tech Band of Pride. They've hung around for this entire ball game. They've had a good time tonight watching their Bulldogs lead here 49-14. Second down and 6. Mason Welch, the fourth quarterback of the night for Louisiana Tech. And tell you what, there have been some good numbers put up by those Tech quarterbacks. Welch going to keep it himself. He's going to go off left side. He puts his head down, comes close to the first down. Prior to that run, the Tech quarterbacks tonight have thrown for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns and rushed for 143 yards and another touchdown. With that run, right at 370 yards of total offense and 3 scores.
Yeah, you know, they made a change to Blake Baker with the hopes of lifting the energy a little bit, providing a spark. That's kind of the vernacular when a new quarterback comes in. He provides a spark. But ultimately, they wanted to find some rhythm, some identity in the offense, and they did that tonight.
Well, Welch picks up the first down, and Louisiana Tech now 11 of 19 on third down conversions. That'll win a lot of ball games for you. And clock ticking. It'll be under a minute when this ball is snapped again. Louisiana Tech will go to 2-1 on the season. 1-0 in conference play. The Aggies will fall to 2-1. They'll go to 0-1 in league play. Tech looks like it'll be in the victory formation now, a little pistol version of it. Welch will kneel on it. And they won't start the play clock again. Play clock, and I'll tell you what, it is almost timed up here. It's about a half second.
About a half a second. Yep.
We'll see whether, Tech's going to snap it one more time. That's when you want your clock operator to be a little slower on the trigger.
That's right.
But there's the final kneel down of the night, and Louisiana